Hello, you wonderful, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome back. My name's Tiara. My channel's tierrasaurusrex, and you're watching me play Fallout New Vegas blind in 2020. I'm about to go speak to the Brotherhood of Steel Elder. Elder McNamara? Hello? Hello. Everybody's telling me to speak with you.
Hello, Veronica. How goes your mission?
We'll know in a second. I wanted to talk to you.
Veronica, tell me this isn't about...
Yes, goddammit, it is. But you're gonna hear me out this time.
We've been through this.
The things I've seen now, other groups succeeding where we fail, it's not too late for us.
We've outlasted the end of the world. We'll outlast these upstarts.
Waiting in a hole for everyone else to die.
If we must.
This is a dead end for us.
I see no evidence of that. Nor do I see anyone out there with a solution to our problems.
How could you? You're too scared to look. Let's go. We're wasting our time.
No tea, no shade. No, I want to speak to him.
When Paladin Ramos informed me that Veronica was approaching with an outsider in tow, at first I didn't know what to think. After giving the matter some thought, however, I've decided that an outsider could be of use to me right now.
I'm sure I could be.
However, I will not force you to help us. Should you refuse, you will be allowed to leave here, though you'd remain Veronica's responsibility. What do you say, outsider? Are you willing to help us?
Yeah, I'll help you. Sure.
Then allow me to explain our situation. This bunker is currently locked down, allowing no entry or exit, with you being one of the few exceptions.
I mean,
in exceptional cases, teams are sent out to investigate sites or retrieve materials deemed too important to ignore. 3 such teams have gone missing recently, and the news of their disappearance has not yet been widely spread to avoid undue concern. In order to maintain the peace and adhere to the strictures of the lockdown, I need to send someone else to discover what happened to them.
Alright, well, surely you have people better suited to look for them.
The less who are aware of this situation, the better. My brothers and sisters were deeply traumatized by the losses we incurred several years ago. It would be imprudent to worry them unduly without first discovering the facts of the situation.
You just want me to do some recon? Okay, I got you.
I'm glad I can count on you. Oh, and one other thing. The patrols each had a holotape detailing their missions that you can use to track them. The shielding of the bunker prevents us from actively tracking them, but their positions should show up on your map once you get to the surface. Should our worst fears become realized, please bring back all 3 of the holotapes from the patrols. Otherwise, bring our brothers home. I've given the order that you be given access to some of the equipment our scouts and patrols have scavenged over the years.
Alrighty.
You won't be allowed to purchase any prohibited equipment, but hopefully some of what's available will prove useful to you.
Okay. Well, they're just gonna give me some free stuff. I like free stuff. And don't mind if I'm sorry. I didn't mean to touch your special door.
I'd slap him around, but he stood at my parents' wedding.
Oh, okay.
Plus, he used to make excuses to get me out of my punishment when I'd slept through head scribe Taggart's lectures. Figure I owe him for that. He means well.
Okay, well. What now?
I'm not giving up. He wants evidence, but he'll never go looking for it. He's scared I'm right. He'll never listen unless I hold the proof right in front of his face.
Alright. You think the Elder will listen at all?
He's a stubborn old man, but when it comes down to it, he's got our best interests at heart. If he sees some indisputable sign we're on the wrong course, he won't ignore it.
Okay, so what is it you're trying to accomplish?
That's my question to the Elder. All these years, the Brotherhood has collected weapons technology. And for what?
To stockpile it.
To keep it out of people's hands?
Yes.
That clearly hasn't worked. To defend ourselves? We can't compete with the NCR's numbers, or the Legions. We're fighting a war for a lost cause. If we're gonna survive, we have to find a role in society, attract new members.
That's a good idea. That's good for the organization itself. What could we bring him that would change his mind? Well, how would you propose to do that?
Look at the followers of the Apocalypse. They use their expertise to improve people's lives. They train them to be self-sufficient. That expertise cultivates respect and gratitude, spreads their ideals, draws talent to their cause. They make friends like we make enemies. But they don't know a fraction of what we know. If we took on their role, we could stand up to anyone. We wouldn't have to hide.
I hope you can take on their role. That seems to go against the Brotherhood's ideals, though.
I don't know. We need something that shows the Brotherhood will fail, or that it can do better a different way. The only thing that gets his attention is technology. Maybe Father Elijah had the right idea.
Who's Father Elijah?
Our elder before McNamara. He had a nose for recovering lost technology. He'd send scribes out into the desert chasing whatever leads he found. There were a few he only trusted me with. I can think of at least one that'd prove my point, if it still exists. There's a comm terminal not too far from here I'd use to access messages from him. If we go there, I can pull up his research on it.
Okay. We'll get there.
Being around here isn't the same anymore.
Now that you've been outside.
So, you're the outsider that's been given leave to wander around freely. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. Name's Harden. I'm the head Paladin of this chapter, and I think we might be able to help each other out.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what the Elder talked to you about, but I can tell you this chapter is in trouble. And he's at the center of it. Are you willing to listen to what I have to say?
Why should I trust you?
Why should you trust the Elder? I'd recommend listening to both of us, and choosing whom to trust for yourself.
I agree with
So
that.
are you willing to listen?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
As you may have already heard, this entire base is under a state of lockdown. No one goes out except small patrols at night. Most of the chapter has been sealed in here for years. And those few who were outside when the lockdown was initiated are forbidden from returning. Morale has plummeted as time has gone by. And many of our current paladins haven't seen combat outside of training simulations. And all because of the Elder's explicit order that no one be allowed in or out. The only way things will change is if a new Elder is installed.
How do you propose to do that?
I don't know. I've gone through our records dozens of times looking for a precedent regarding the dismissal of an Elder and come up with nothing. The people who are most likely to know how it could be done are also some of McNamara's strongest supporters. So they refuse to help me, which is why we're having this conversation. An outsider such as yourself would arouse less suspicion asking questions about such matters. The fact that the Elder has some tasks for you means his faithful won't suspect you, and you have a line open to the man himself. In short, you're in a perfect position to help me. Will you at least think about it?
Well, I can tell that he made a wrong decision. And I can understand why you'd want a new guy. But again, he doesn't seem to have any kind of bad ideas about where you guys want to go, and if anything, if he's listening to Veronica, what do I get out of helping you?
If I become Elder, the lockdown will be lifted.
Oh, you want to become
We'll
Elder?
once again be able to send patrols out into the wastes. We'll become powerful again.
No.
And when that happens, it will be good to have the Brotherhood as an ally. Good enough?
You know, I would be okay if it was Veronica that was installed, not if it was you. Because now it just sounds like you're looking for power. No, I want no part of this.
I half expected you to say that. In which case, I'll continue to pursue the matter on my own.
Yeah, you do that.
Should you continue dealing with the Elder and find yourself beginning to see my point of view, I'll be around.
Okay, I'll find you if I need to.
What is this? Veronica brings an outsider into our home, then has a private audience with the Elder?
Yes, sir.
The two of you may have the Elder fooled, but we know better.
I'm sure you do.
Veronica has always twisted the Founder's principles to her own ends. We will not stand idly by and allow her to corrupt our Elder's thinking.
What? Have I been arrested?
I hope you've been practicing your
Sorry
drill.
about that. Just because I love them doesn't mean some of them aren't assholes.
Yeah. No, I side with you, Veronica. I like the idea of helping the people in the way that the followers of the apocalypse do rather than continuing with the Brotherhood's ideals. I don't like the idea of just a blatantly strong military force deeming everything that they feel to do necessary. Alright, let's get out of this hole. Let's continue on Veronica's quest, because I've got her quest now. I might as well complete it now. I don't know how many companions I can get into the future, and how many quests they're going to have for me and when they'll come along. So I'm going to finish hers immediately, and then maybe after the quest I'll have gotten, you know, her perk and everything, if that's how it works. And I can switch her out for one of the other two that I found. Oh my god, there's puppers. Okay. Welcome, Veronica. Download research notes. Download completed.
Let's see what we've got here. Okay, yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. The pulse gun. Although, maybe the rangefinder could work too. And it looks like the NCR was onto some miracle farming technology.
Alright, what is the farming technology?
More or less. Supposedly it's a vegetation enhancer. NCR has a science branch headquartered at McCarran Airport. Guess they found something. Guess somebody wasn't very good at keeping secrets either. We'd never pursue it because it's not a weapon, but self-sufficiency is fundamental to us. If it works, they'd see the value of an alternate course.
Okay, what about the pulse gun?
Electromagnetic weapon from before the Great War. Experimental. It never saw mass production. But they were building it as a countermeasure to power armor, which they feared the Chinese were developing. Supposedly a prototype was being housed at Nellis. Imagine what it could do to the Brotherhood. We'd be on equal footing with any idiot with a gun.
Okay, tell me about the rangefinder.
It's a targeting device for some kind of doomsday weapon based at Helios 1. It was lost sometime after the war. We held Helios 1 for a time. Lost a lot of people defending it. Too many. All for this weapon they never got working. If it turns out to be a dud, it'd show how flawed our goals have been. Father Elijah said he thinks a scavenger might have sold it on the strip.
Okay. The rangefinder might be a problem. I reactivated Helios 1, and it's not powering a weapon.
Ah, hell. Well, how could you know, right? Okay, 2 other options still on the table.
I want to say we want to go after the vegetation technology, because I'm not looking for them to feel like they need military might. I'm trying to steer them away from that. I'd rather them go for self-sufficiency. We're gonna go for that.
Okay. What better way to persuade them than to give them a taste of what they stand to gain, right? Maybe the best place to start is to see what we can find out directly from the NCR. Let's head to their OSI office at McCarran.
Okay. Let's go find it.
I like the way you think.
Yes, sirree. Oh, this is McCarran right here. I don't like you guys that much. Oh, Major Darty.
If it's bad news, you can take it up with the Colonel. If it's good news, it better involve some dead fiends.
What do you know about the fiends?
Pack of drugged-out killers. They're addicted to every stim, every pill, every psychoactive enema on this fucked-up Earth. I've got 3 fiends I want dead, and I don't give a goddamn how it gets done. That sound like something that interests you?
Might be. Give me their names.
First one calls herself Violet. God knows why. The name is the prettiest thing about her. Spends most of her time with a pack of vicious dogs. Then there's Driver Nephi. He's fast and he's brutal. Killed about a dozen of my men with a goddamn driver iron. Hence his name. And finally, Cook. Rapist, pyromaniac, and damn good chef if you believe the fiends we've captured. Probably the craziest of the lot. I'm not gonna feed you any bullshit. These aren't your common Vegas trash. They've all killed good NCR men, and plenty of mercs too. You go after them, any of them, you're in for a hell of a fight. So, which one is it gonna be?
The rapist, Cook.
One thing I should tell you about Cook. Piece of shit is pure animal. He raped one of my snipers, and that makes this personal. Also, he's got a flamethrower, and he's damn good with it. From what I hear, he either rapes or burns every living thing he gets his hands on.
Great.
Only one man's gotten close to killing him, and that's Little Buster. So he says, anyway. Maybe it's bullshit, but I'd still ask him about it.
Little Buster. Who's Little Buster?
Bounty hunter. Talks big. But he's still alive, so he can't be completely full of shit. I think he's out in the yard, waiting to claim a couple bounties.
Anything else to know?
One more thing. If you want the full reward, you need to bring me a recognizable head. My superiors need proof they're gone. That means no headshots, no decapitations till after they're dead, and no damage to the face. If you want to be safe, aim for the chest.
Tell that to Veronica.
You bring me a head that looks like a rotten tomato, people will be doubting, and I won't be authorized to pay the entire bounty.
Literally.
Good luck to you.
She's the one
Don't
that
get
likes
careless.
punching people's heads off their necks. Lieutenant Gorberts. Okay, these guys all have names.
I'm Lieutenant Gorobets, 1st Recon. If you're looking to collect a bounty, you should talk to Major Daughtry.
Tell me about the 1st Recon.
We're the finest sniper outfit in the whole NCR. If you need a bullet put into a target's eye from 800 yards away, you call us. Some of my team aren't without their share of scars, though, like Betsy and Sterling.
What's wrong with Betsy?
Cook, one of the
Oh,
fiends,
no.
ambushed her and 10 of spades. They both managed to escape, but not before Cook raped her. Betsy shrugged it off like it was nothing, but her behavior keeps getting worse. Always making passes at every woman who wanders by. It's inappropriate for anyone at First Recon to behave that way. I could discipline her, but I'd rather she get medical help.
Yeah. I could talk to Betsy about getting medical help for her trauma.
I'd appreciate it. As her CO, I could order her to get help, but I'd have her agree with the idea.
Okay, what happened to Sterling?
Corporal Sterling was an NCR ranger until he was captured by the Legion. They tortured him pretty badly. He wasn't able to be a ranger after that, but his eyes are still sharp, so I had him transferred to First Recon.
Does the NCR usually offer bounties on people?
If they've proven hard to kill, yes. Whatever it takes to get the job done, even if it means hiring help from outside the military.
Okay, anything else? No?
Carry on.
Peace out, Gorbits. Gorbits.
Howdy. Name's Sterling, First Recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had.
You remember everyone who passed us through here?
Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all. And a lot of scouting from place to place.
Interesting rifle you got there.
I called her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Gorbets reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I could hit my targets.
Understandable. Have you always been with the First Recon?
Used to be a ranger, one of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now.
Damn.
Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays.
Why did you leave them? It's because you were injured, right?
Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either.
How'd you manage to escape?
Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me. So they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said.
Alright, how long you been stationed here?
Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till
the
then,
dam.
we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us.
Alright, peace out.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Yes, sir, we do. Are you Betsy? No, you're not Betsy. You're Bitterroot.
I'm Bitterroot, First Recon. You got a reason to talk to me?
Why is your name Bitterroot?
You trying to start trouble? Or do you really not know where I got that name?
No, I don't. I didn't mean to offend. You don't have to tell me if you'd rather not.
It's a con name. You know, the great cons. That's what my parents were.
Oh, okay.
I figured I grew up around the bastards. They owed me a name after all they put me through.
Damn. What happened to your parents?
They're dead. Got themselves killed at Bitter Springs. Served them right, if you ask me.
Can you tell me what happened at Bitter Springs, please?
It was a massacre. That's what a lot of NCR folk will tell you. Most of them feel plenty bad about what happened.
Yeah, tell me.
But I was there. Saw it myself. I don't care what anybody says. The cons asked for Bitter Springs. They wouldn't leave the NCR be. My damn parents, too. They were just as bad as the rest.
So your name, it comes from Bitter Springs.
You're not fully grown till you've taken a beat down. Everybody gathers around and hits you till you're damn near dead. After that, if you haven't begged for mercy, you get to choose a new name. One you'll use for the rest of your life. When NCR slaughtered the cons at Bitter Springs, I hadn't got my beat down yet. I was still too young. The way I see it, Bitter Springs was my beat down. So afterward, gave myself a name. It's all I got from the cons. It's all I ever want.
Damn. How did you survive?
Guess I could tell a pretty good story if I had a mind. But the truth is, I don't know. Just got lucky. They brought me to Daughtry after the battle. He was just a captain back then. Guess he saw something in me. Knew I didn't belong with the cons. Maybe he felt bad, too. About how his men killed my folks. I told him he did me a service, but he didn't believe me. Still doesn't. He's a good man, Daughtry. Doesn't act like it sometimes, I know. But he didn't have to take me in.
Oh, that's nice. Alright, but you're still not telling me something.
It's like I tell Major Daughtry. Best not to look under a rock if you don't really want to know what's there. Could be that NCR found some blood on me and none of it mine. Could be that a few of those cons didn't die from NCR bullets. I had scores of my own to settle. Deeper ones than NCR ever had. Don't bother asking who they were with.
But what I really want to know, though.
Don't I? Beg pardon, man, but you never met my parents. My dad got himself fucked up every chance he got. Always started with folk for no reason. Hell, he was the one who taught me to shoot. You know how? By taking pot shots at NCR, and not just soldiers. Civilians, too. Even kids.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Then he'd get high with his buddies and swap tales about the folk they killed. Bunch of animals.
I agree.
And my mom? A couple of times she tried to sell me to some waster just to score some jet.
Damn.
Even the other cons said she was useless. Only reason they kept her around was because she was a... how'd my dad say it? A smoking piece of ass.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, that's probably
I
best.
shouldn't have asked. I'm sorry. How long have you been with the first recon?
While, I guess. I don't keep too careful track of time. I like to keep things simple. Just focus on now. That's why they made me a sniper. You let your mind wander back a ways and you lose sight of what's in front of your eyes. Good way to miss a mark.
Okay. Your father is your commanding officer. Is that allowed?
Yeah, look. He's not my real father. He just looked after me for a while. It's a long story. I get tired.
Yeah, you already told me about that. Okay. Peace out.
All right. Goodbye.
So this is where I will end this episode. I will see you next time.